Amy here. I'm back to do my WIP parade. And before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who was so kind after my first Flosstube and left me so many lovely comments and messages. And I just really appreciate it. It was very kind and I appreciated all the encouragement. And thank you for spending a little time with me. There's a ton of Flosstube out there, so you know, it's quite the honor that you decided to watch mine. So I said I was going to do a WIP parade, and a couple people asked me about my WIP, so I thought today's a great day to do it. It's quiet, and I'm really glad that I went through my WIPs last night because I was able to get everything organized, and I decided there were some things that I was kind of on the fence about finishing, but then looking at them again, I ended up loving them. So that was really great. So I have 24 WIPs, which is not so bad because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are from this year. So really I have 17 carrying over from previous years, which is not that bad at all. I also have 5 WIPs of my mom's that she was never able to finish that I would like to finish. So I thought I would go ahead and show you her WIPs first and then move into mine. So the very first one was my mom's, and it is, she called this Big Stitch. And it is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. And she, I know, started stitching this in 2021, and it's beautiful. I think she did about a third of it. It's really quite lovely. I remember she was very excited about the eagle. I love that flag. The flag is gorgeous. So my mom actually was stitching on this in 2021. She had her heart valve replaced. And this was one of the projects she was doing when she was recovering from her surgery. And her surgery was a little tricky, but she had a great recovery, and it was very successful for a couple years. So we're thankful that her new heart valve gave her a couple more years with us, which was awesome. And I believe she's using the called for colors. Here are some of them. There's more in this little pouch. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly all the colors and make sure that everything matches up properly. I am going to finish this. It's going to take me forever, and I'm totally okay with it because I'm good with that. It's just something that I can enjoy and pull out every now and then, and it'll make me think of my mom, and I love it. So I'm also very thankful for Teresa because when the pandemic, she offered painting classes every week, and my mom took virtual painting classes with her. And my mom was quite a painter. She was actually learned folk art painting in the 80s, and so she had a Zoom painting class with Teresa every week and really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun, and she made some beautiful art. She did a couple of the angel paintings of my girls, and I absolutely love them. They're beautiful. So I'm very thankful to her and that she provided that creative outlet to so many people who enjoyed it. And I always look forward to, okay, so here's a secret. Her painting class and virtual Bible study were at the same time. And my mom would go to Bible study because she was actually one of the ladies that organized it. And she would mute Bible study and have it on one screen, and then have Teresa on her iPad, and she attended painting class and would look at Bible study and go, and nobody knew. I told her secret. So the next one is another big lady, Autumn at Hawkrun Hollow. So this is really fun because we had been talking about this chart, and she's like, oh yeah, I want to do it, but I don't know, like, I shouldn't spend the money on the chart, and like, oh, it's so much floss, and am I gonna get it stitched? So I went out and bought it. I bought all the DMC, and I bought all the chart, and I didn't buy her fabric because I'm like, you're gonna have to figure out what you want to do for that. So she was able to do the top portion right here. And she was also needed a stitcher, so this was, going to be 100 feet long. But I'm going to continue on with this. But I'm only going to do 4 of the blocks. And this is something I like to finish sooner than later. Like Land That I Love can take 100 years. I'm good with that. This one, I'd like to get this one actually done. So I'm going to do this first block that my mom started that says the skies are low, the winds are slow. I'm going to do the pumpkin patch. I'm definitely going to do the Brooklet Sings It's Dreamy Story. And then I'm going to do one more. I probably will do the horses and the trees. Maybe the owls. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but I'm just going to do the 4 and then have the top and then have it framed. She's so cute. She made a chart spreadsheet, and like she was left-handed, so all of her check marks are backwards. Well, backwards for right-handers. And then the third should be pretty quick, and I'm saving this for closer to Christmas time. In 2020, Pine Needles did a monthly advent where you'd sign up, and every day you got the cutest little bit, a little chart in the beginning. And then this was so much fun because I remember her. So I just have 4 left. Well, 4 and half of that one. And the border to do. And I believe that this you can purchase now from Pine Needles. And I remember this was so much fun because she would call me every day and to do the big reveal, because I wasn't cross stitching at this time, the big reveal of what the block was today. And that was fun. So I love the one of Buddy the Elf. That's so great. There's a Halloween version of this too, which I think was from 2021, and I actually stitched that one as well. That was a lot of fun. So that should be real quick to finish this fall. And then one more Christmas one. So this is a Prairie Schooler. It's the Christmas alphabet. And so when I was going through all of her cross stitch supplies, I found the chart. I put it with my Prairie Schooler charts, and then I was looking for, Christmas things to stitch this past December, and I was like, oh, it'd be really fun. I like the little pillow ornaments. I'll do all of our initials. So I did, A, B, H, S, hope I'm getting them in the camera, and P. So what I'm going to do is finish these into pillow ornaments, and I'm going to use the economy black style for family ornaments. So then after Christmas, I'm really, I was actually getting ready to paint in here, and I found a box and I started going through it. My mom started this one, and she got through F. So I spent a couple hours trying to figure out her colors, because her colors are not exactly what Prairie Schooler's colors are. And I knew that there was a conversion that Fat Quarter Shop sold. And I was thinking, oh, well, maybe she did that one. And that one wasn't quite right. So hours, I'm like matching colors, trying to find like, which one did she use? Like trying to pick out like the ones that I knew that were like her favorites and things. I couldn't find it. And then I remembered she had a cross-stitch journal, and thankfully it was in there, and she put all of her changes in it, so I was able to figure out what colors that she used, and then I can move on from there. So that'll be really fun, and I hope to do this one, get this one finished this year. So then the last one, the last WIP I have of my mom's, was actually something that she was stitching when she passed away. And so how she had her stitching set up is she would do it on a clipboard. And she would clip all of her floss to the clipboard. And then her stitch would go on top. She stitched in hand. And then, you know, her chart would be on the bottom. So this one is Love One Another by Sweet Wing Studio, who actually I saw is celebrating their 5th anniversary today, which is very cool. So we found this next to our stitching chair. It was so sad. Like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. So I was talking to my girls. It's like, well, what do we do with it? And they're just like, this is so sad. Like, well, we could just finish it like that. Like, just, you know, frame it. And like, oh, that's depressing. But then I was like, well, I don't want to, like, I really want to be able to show where my mom's stitching was and mine starts, like where her stitches and mine starts. So I looked at all the colors, and then I found complementary colors that are very close but that are not the same. And there's going to be a slight color difference from where my mom stopped and I began. Then I realized that we stitch in opposite directions because she's left-handed and I'm right-handed. So you'll see her stitches will cross differently than mine. So I think it's perfect. So that's what I'm planning to do. I wanted to do it for Valentine's Day, and I pulled it out. I got a little choked up. I was like, oh no, we'll save that one for later. So at some point, I'm going to get this done. And also, I think, if you kind of think about it, and I'm terribly sentimental, you know, it says, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Now, that's pretty good party advice from your mom. So, I really do love this one, and I'm looking forward to doing it. So those are the last of my mom's stitches. A couple big projects, you know, one little project, and that'll be lots of fun to do. Okay, so then let's talk about mine. So the first two I showed in my first Flosstube, they are what's currently on my desk. So the first is March of the Daffodils, and I am doing this daffodil stocking right here. This is how far I got. I'm hoping to finish this one this afternoon. It's my afternoon that I'm going to do this project for today. My daughter had a lacrosse game yesterday, and it was about 4 hours away, and I like packed all these projects in my tote bag, and I was like, I'm gonna be so productive. 8 hours in the card stitch, and then like halftime and all that. We went through all these mountain roads. I was so sick, so dizzy. There was no, I think yesterday is the first day all year that I haven't cross stitched. So I decided that I wanted to do a little bit of these stockings each month after doing the February stockings. So these were my February. This one's violets. And I really love this one because my grandmother had African violets on her windowsill in her kitchen. So I was thinking it might be fun to get an African violet and put that together. And then this is the alphabet sampler. And I put my family's initials in a darker red. And then the rest are pink. And then my second WIP that's been on my table is With Thy Needle and Thread, Redbird Sampler. And I am just doing the bottom portion right here. And this one is on, oh, I did mention the stockings are on 14 count Icelandic beige. All of my mom's stuff, I believe, was on 14 count vintage country mocha, probably. Yeah, I think so. But she used 14 count. Vintage Country Mocha and Lamb's Wool are her favorites. So those are generally her two. And then this one is 18 count and it's on antique white Ada. So hopefully this one will be finished soon. I just need to sit down and do it. Okay. So then the next one was my blessing sampler. And I'm hoping to have this finished by Easter. It is on 14 count fabric flare. It's like a white on white polka dot. And it is This I Know by Plum Street. And I'm using all of the called for colors. And but I did not coffee dye. I didn't dunk them in coffee. I just decided to go ahead and just use them as is. That's very fun. Love the sheep. So hopefully that will, like I said, be done by Easter. And then this one is one that went missing, and I'm so glad I found it. This one is from, I know I mentioned like in 2024 I really didn't stitch. So this one's from 2023 lacrosse season, and it is called My Heart's Welcome by Plum Street. And I've changed the colors up a bit on this. Here's how far I've gotten. And so I'm gonna do, big surprise, the girls dress in pink. I changed the flowers to blue, and I have written down that I'm doing a red door. I'm not sure if I'm still going to do the red door, but the plan was to do a red door. So there's really not much left on this one. And I was stitching that during the lacrosse season. And then after lacrosse, I kind of put it away, and then I misplaced it. I had no clue where it was. So happy I found that. Let's see. The next is my very first Hands Across the Sea. And it is Florence Law, and I am using that same fabric flare 14 count, the white polka dots. Actually, it's called White Polka Dots on Coconut. I can move this down. And this was my thread a day project. So I'm a little bit more than halfway done. And it's gonna say waste not, want not. It's very sweet. And I picked this one out because my great grandmother was named Florence. And everyone called her Flossie. So so I was planning on putting her full name, Florence Carruthers. Florence Carruthers Caldwell. And then the date that she was born. But then I decided I'm going to do Florence and then a heart. And then I'm going to do Jean, which was her daughter. And that's who I'm named after. My name is Amy Jean. And then another heart. And then my mom's name, which is Carol. So, and I decided to stitch mine in NPI Silks. I used color number 112, and the reason why I did this color is it's Carolina Blue. So it is Chapel Hill Blue, and that is where all of my mom's family is from, on both her mom and her dad's side of the family. So I think I'm going to leave this one out and go back to stitching once a day, because it was very fun to do, and it was a great way to start the day. Okay, the next one is kind of fun. So my idea when I saw this one was I wanted to hang it up in like where my vanity is, and it's really, but I just haven't finished it. So it's Support Group by Lorie Holt, and I really like the way It's So Emma does their charts. They're in color. They have really nice photos. You know, they you can see them really well, which is great. So when I did this one, I went like full out, and I got the needle minder. I got the thread keeper, floss keeper. I don't really like the floss keepers. They're cute, but I don't enjoy putting my floss on them like this. But I put Scotch tape on the back, and then was able to write all of the color numbers, which are all the called for. And then I am also stitching this one on the white polka dot on coconut. It's really cute. And what I should do is I should just do like one a day, and then I would be finished in 8 days. But I thought this would be so cute because I have an old vanity, and then I have a closet door next to the vanity. I thought it would be fun to hang that up like on the closet. So that's support group from Lorie Holt. And next is another Lorie Holt. This is Flower Market Baskets. And when I started stitching this one, I started in the middle, and I decided I was not going, and I was a newer stitcher, so I was not going to stitch all the gingham. Well, since then, I really enjoy gingham. I really like stitching gingham. So I may do that. I might decide, I'm thinking I'm going to stitch the gingham. This is another one where I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm going to finish that. But like, I pulled it out. I was like, this is so pretty. It's really, really pretty. I mean, it's very large, and I have a lot left to do, but it's very pretty. The colors are gorgeous. So I'm glad that I looked at it, because it made me kind of love it again. And this one is on Fabric Flare Pale Gray Gingham. And again, got it's like a floss octopus. And okay, next. Okay, so now we're getting into more seasonal stitching, and I really do enjoy seasonal stitching, so, but I don't enjoy it off season, if that makes sense. Like, I like to stitch up till the season, and then I'm done. So the first is a year-long project, and it is wreath swap. And I was kind of going back and forth on what how to finish this, because I'm not going to stitch the H, the M, and the E. And I have the letters, and I haven't decided if I'd like to do the long, like a long finishing board or a square. But so far I have, and I'm not doing it on black. I don't really care to stitch on black. It's just not my favorite thing to stitch on. So I'm using Vintage Country Mocha, and I have January done, and February, March, and I'm halfway through April. So what I'd like to do is get April finished before April, and then get the whole thing put up so I can actually enjoy it. And these were the called for. I'm using all the called for colors. These are the called for April colors, except for I switched out the white to B5200 from DMC, which I think, you know, shows up a little bit better. Okay, next is Valentine's project that I was unable to finish this year. It is the Be Mine banner from Stitching with Housewives, and I'm just using some DMC, kind of pulled out of the jars, and I got the B done, and the E is on the works. And then what happened is I got to the point where it was just before Valentine's Day. I was like, I don't want to stitch Valentine's Day anymore. And then I was like, I'm done. So it's really pretty. So I've changed my colors. And I bought the hearts to make the banner. I thought it'd be really fun to do the banner up on my quilt design board. So that'll be lots of fun for last year. Got the hearts and the roses. So I'm ready to go. This would actually be really good lacrosse stitching because it's just fill-in. Okay. Then, next I have Spring Quaker from Lila Studio. So here's the thing. I love looking at Quakers. I don't love stitching them. I want to love stitching them. But it seems like of all the projects I had that I abandoned, the ones that I abandoned were Quakers. Now for this one, I got a little creative and I copied the chart and like taped it all together. I'm stitching it a little bit differently. I am, okay, so here's, where did I put my design board? Okay. So here's what I have done so far. It's really pretty. I really like the houses and the trees, the colors. I'm using all the call for colors. I love the gingham basket. I love the sentiment. It says, no matter how long the winter, spring is sure to follow. And I really like that because my dad would often say, you know, when I was frustrated or sad or like had enough, he would tell me that it was always darkest before the dawn. So that's true. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put the words inside the border. Get started to clear. So you see there's a white border, which I turned to blue, but I'm putting the words inside and then the border above. And I was able to map it all out to make sure it fits. Well, fingers crossed that it fits. So it'll be fun when I get to that flower. It's gonna be so pretty. Okay, so that's my giant Quaker. And then I have, so this is one of the few things that I stitched or started to stitch last year in 2024. This was a one of the cross stitch quarterlies. I used to be in the cross stitch quarterly club from Fat Quarter Shop, and has all of the flosses. There's a really cute needle minder, a little design board. It came with 14 count fabric flare, and it's this like honeycomb print. It's so cute. This is as far as I got. It's not much. So I'm pretty sure this came out in 2024. Yeah, 2024. It was spring last year, and my my daughter got married in April, so we were, well, she had two weddings. She got married just a really small, like just a micro wedding in April in the Smoky Mountains, and then she had her big family wedding in July. So we were very busy, but this time of year I was really busy with getting everything ready for their wedding, which was so much fun. But I'm looking forward to doing this when I pick up all the fun bee stitching. So speaking of bees, Babushka is coming along nicely. This is another lacrosse stitching project from 2023, and I picked her back up. It's Babushka's Bees from Plum Street, and I picked her back up, and I am stitching her while my husband and I watch 1923. I've made some mistakes, like you can see on this one B-skep, I counted wrong, so I had to put feet on it. And then I changed the door a little bit and some flowers and all. I really don't have much left. I have to do one more B-skep, I have some more flowers, and I need to figure out what to do about the fence. Because in person, you cannot see the white fence. On camera, it shows up nicely. But I love her. She's so cute. I've got a couple other babushkas patterns that I'm looking forward to doing. I was thinking about putting some beads in her skirt. And she is stitched on 14 count Icelandic beige. And I'm using all of the called for colors. Some of the places were moved a little bit just to make the floss work with the fabric. So my other bee WIP that I'd like to finish this month is by Heartstring Samplery. And it is Sting Like a Bee. So it's very, very pretty. It's on 14 count. Picture this plus Tempest. And I got it's just a small cut. I think it's the 16th of a yard. Yes, it's a 16th of a yard Tempest Ada. It's 8 by 12. And I got this at 123 Stitch. It's a great place to buy pictures plus Ada. And, you know, love float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And when I used to write napkin notes, well, really for my younger daughter, my oldest was not as amused by them. But I used to love, like, especially because she played field hockey, basketball, lacrosse. She ran cross country for a little while. She played soccer in middle school. She was a ballerina. Like, both my girls really enjoyed athletics a lot. And so on game days, it was always so much fun to do napkin notes because I would get, like, really, like, great sports quotes or, like, funny movie quotes. And so it was always fun to quote Muhammad Ali. So, okay, let's move on. I think about halfway through. The next is Oh Whale by Hands On Design. I'm using all the called for DMC. I don't know what my problem is with this one. It's not that big of a deal. Just need to finish it. And I don't know why. I'm struggling. It's awesome. It's such a cute chart. Like, I even have like a wooden whale to go with this thing. I bought pins. I just need to finish it. But oh well. Let's see. Next. I don't know why I'm even showing this. It's barely a start. As American Welcome by Plum Street. This chart is so beautiful, I bought it twice. And that's as far as I got. So I'm gonna pick this back up. I started this in January on Martin Luther King Inauguration Day, and it's beautiful. I bought all the, interesting enough, the Coloring Cotton Hunter I had was older, and it was like teal. It wasn't even close, so I was able to get the correct colors. I ordered directly from Coloring Cotton. It came like in 2 days, beautifully packaged with extra bonus threads, and was very impressed. So Coloring Cotton is a really fantastic company. The next is something I started back when I first started stitching in 2021, and I don't want to do it. It's the Sisterhood Simply Divine Cross Stitch Quaker flag. I'm far. Like, I don't have a lot to do. I need to fill in the flag, the blue. And then I have to finish the white row and a red row, and then I'm done. I've got a place for it to hang up in my house, and I don't want to do it. So it's stitched on beautiful beige, and it is, I used Weeks Whitewash, Color and Cotton, Wavy Navy, and Weeks Liberty. Again, this is one of those just do a star a day and you'll be done projects. Okay, so this was my President's Day start this year. It is Little House Needleworks, John Hancock, but I couldn't do it John Hancock because I will never, ever see or hear the name John Hancock and not think of the movie Tommy Boy when he calls him Herbie Hancock. So when I saw this chart originally, I was like, oh my gosh, it is such a Herbie Hancock. Like, so funny. Like, I think it's just funny. My husband took me to see Tommy Boy when we were teenagers. My kids love the movie. It's just funny. So I'm so sorry. I've ruined your beautiful chart. I ruined your beautiful chart with my Herbie Hancock. Oh, I don't know. Maybe my kids will fight over this one day. Right. The plan is to do Betsy Ross and Freedom together, and I'd like to put them in a doable together for July, for the summer 4th of July time. The other thing I found when I was cleaning up was this really cute little, it's by the Posy Collection, posycollection.com. It's the Betsy Ross House Sampler. And when my girls were little, we went on a little weekend trip to the Crayola factory in Philadelphia, or in Pennsylvania. And then the following day we stopped in Philadelphia to see the Betsy Ross house. And so we got my mom this. And she, at the time, hadn't been stitching. She stitched when I was little, but then had stopped for a while. And then, so we're like, oh yeah, we'll get her this. It'll be fun. So we did get her that. And so I'm going to stitch it. And I did not mention, Herbie Hancock is on 14 count. It's Mist from Hobby Lobby. And I don't have enough for all three, so I got to figure that one out. Hopefully I can find more. But it seems like Mist might not be a color that they carry any longer. Okay, again, this is not the grandest of starts. Sweater Weather from Plum Street. This is my only fall WIP. And that's it. I got a leaf done. I'm using all the called for DMCs, and this one will be really cute when it's done. I really want to do the bikini one, the little wiener dog in the yellow polka dotted bikini. That is too funny. So my last 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I'm down to 4. Okay, so the first is one I started in January, and this one is Paper Snowflakes from With the Needle and Thread. And I remember this was something that my mom was going to stitch. It was one of the last, I remember she was going to stitch it, and she was like, oh, no, I don't want to stitch it any longer. I'm done. I'm done with cold weather or something like that. So she never started it. So I decided to go ahead and start it. But the colors are lovely. They're not really my colors. And so I decided to go completely rogue, change the whole thing up. And I stitched it pink. There you go. So I'm probably about halfway done if you don't count filling in her dress. So I just picked lots of pretty pink colors and tried to make it more of my pink Technicolor version. Let's see, grab the colors here. These are all the colors. Pickle from Colored Cotton is the green vines. Ripe melon, blushing beauty, Priscilla's peppermint, ladybug, hollyberry, prickly pear, all from Classic Colorworks. Strawberry fields. I used strawberry fields in the darker berry. That's such a beautiful color for weeks. One of the other vine is frog legs, and Tropical Paradise is the blue accents. So she's really fun, and she'll come back out when it gets cold again, and hopefully I'll get this one finished and framed for Christmas this year. This was one of those projects that I did not think I was going to continue, and then I got it back out and I was like, ooh, maybe they are good. And it's not the chart. I think it was the fabric that I picked that I wasn't liking, but now that I look at it again, oh, I do like it quite a bit. So it is the Little House Needleworks Hometown. Here, I'll show all the ones. The Hometown Holiday. Is it Hometown? Yeah, Hometown Holiday. And I wanted to stitch them for my family. So here's a bookstore for one of my girls. The pet store for my youngest. Toy store for her husband. Needle workshop for me. Town church for my mom. Filling station for my dad. He was a car guy. And a tree lot for my husband. So far I have the tree lot finished. I didn't do the back stitching yet. There's the tree lot. Really like how the white shows up, and I think this was just blue. I think it's witch alt, but I'm not sure what blue it is. It's just blue. And then the next one I'm currently working on is the bookstore. So now that I looked at them again, I really do like them. And I'm going to try to get back to them. I thought it'd be fun to either do flat finishes for a tree, or maybe like, I don't know, they might be too big for doable. I'll have to figure it out. Once I get them all stitched, I'll figure out how I'm going to finish them. So, and then another family type series of ornaments is, and this is really fun because this is what got me back into stitching for real this past fall, is the JBW Sing a Song of Christmas Stockings. It's a great collection. There are, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 15 different stockings to choose from. And I had everybody in the family pick one out. So, and it was funny because I went to my son-in-law and my husband. I'm like, okay, I'm going to need you to pick out a Christmas stocking. And they looked at me like, seriously? I'm like, yes, it makes me happy. Yes. So I did the kids first. So, my youngest got Rudolph, and I changed the colors up a little bit. I brightened up the houses. And then my son-in-law I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. And then the oldest did a Christmas tree. That tree, that was some work. It turned out great. I love it. I used the Weeks color Lucky a lot. Lucky is a beautiful variegated green. It's probably my favorite green of all the greens. It really is beautiful. So I try to not show. So I'm gonna do this one, Over the River Through the Woods, for my mom. And then my daughter, like, you know, not pregnant, not, you know, not now or for some time, but she claimed a couple, and it just says baby. So Away in the Manger and Hark the Herald Angel Sings were claimed baby. And then my husband is a drummer, so he picked out the little drummer boy. And then I'll Be Home for Christmas is the one I picked out. And I'm going to try to make the house look like our house. So that was my next to last Christmas WIP. And then my final Christmas, which has an embarrassing start, it's so bad, is from the Proper Stitcher, and it's Go Tell It on the Mountain. And this was for, this was a fundraiser originally for Marshall, North Carolina, after Hurricane Helene. And that's how far I got. So it's literally 1.5 1.5 threads. But this will be pretty quick to finish and stitch up. And I'm actually gonna frame this and have this hanging up year round, not just at Christmas. So and I am using inspired by colors. I didn't get the exact colors. I just sort of pulled colors from my stash, and I think they'll work nicely. And I am, oh gosh, I keep forgetting to tell the fabric. The Christmas stockings were lamb's wool, and this is lamb's wool as well. Or no, hold on. Is that lamb? Yes, this one is lamb's wool as well. So that's it for my WIPs. I'm gonna film my second Flosstube later on this week. And just thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope maybe this will inspire you to pull out some of your projects and check them out. I know I'm a little bit late to the WIP party, but it was good. It was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of beautiful things. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to stitch them all. So take care and have a great day.